Guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Alan Jimenez, real estate broker here in Texas, license number 0549644. Today we're going to be talking about the real estate market, what's it's been up to, the ups, the downs. We had these huge amount of sales that no one could see. No one can tell this huge sale that with multiple offers was going to happen. And now what's going to happen here in 2022? Now it's the slow time season. Historically, we've seen a lot of slow sales happen during the Christmas season. But what's going to actually happen now? Just a little bit. We're right at the tail end of the pandemic. We're not totally out of the woods just yet, but we are on the way. Now, I would like to say, oh, things are going to slow down, and historically, like I just said, it's been slow forever. But what has the pandemic taught us? What has the pandemic taught us in the past? That the pandemic's like we had a boom amount of sales. So are we looking for a boom of amount of sales in the Christmas season and during the fall? Only time can tell. But today we're going to be looking at the data, the hardcore data of what things have been happening in September. And yeah, actually we're going to go back to June, and then we're going to look at previous years so that you can see how things are moving in Houston. And you're going to be quite surprised. You're going to be really, really quite surprised of what your money is getting nowadays, the median price and the average price here in Houston. So let's jump right on in. All right, the first thing I like to do is let's take a look here. Let's look at the stats. So if you don't already know, like I'm on the back end of what realtors and real estate brokers we have the power of looking at. This is not available to the general public. Let me see if I can put myself here. Cam 4K here. Put my beautiful smile over here in the far corner for you guys. All right, and I think that's about it. Okay, so let's compare apples to apples. Let's compare oranges to oranges. First off, we want to narrow down the data, and we want to just look at Houston in general. If you want to look at another city in Texas, please send me an email. But this one's going to be all about Houston. So the first thing we do is we go in here to the city, we type in Houston. So you can type in Pearland, you can type in Pasadena, and then we're going to generate a couple of reports here, historic sales by year. We have a lot of stuff to look at. Now remember, we're looking at in general, and we're going to be looking at things in general. So if you have a house that's in in the Heights versus a house that's in Pearland, it's going to be two different. You can't compare these two items. So what the data does is we take it, all of it, everything that's considered inside Houston, and then we're going to narrow it down by single family houses, which are regular houses that don't have connected walls, okay? And then we're going to look at townhouses as well. We're not going to look at condos. We're not going to look at land, because it's going to be mixing up the data. So we're going to be looking at things in general, okay? So let's go back one more time. Go search, and we're going to refine that single family. Hold down the control key if you haven't done this before. If you're a new agent, you may want to consider it. Okay, so then let's go and we generate again. Let's look here. I'm going to pulling out real live data. They're going to be pulling out stuff. And what does this report show you here? So average days on market versus the list price, median price. So what do we got here? We say, okay, this is very, very interesting. If you really take a look here, prices have gotten higher throughout the years. This is January 2016, July 2000, and so on. The years and years and years go by. Look how that blue line is increasing, and it increases greatly as we get to 2020 when the pandemic starts. It's right at 250,000, jumps up to almost 330,000 at that point, and right here it's it looks like about 320. We'll look at the hard data. We can look at the hard data right here. And if you want this data, personally, I can download it, put it up to the website, or I can just send it to you, no problem. Probably be easier. Send me an email or a message, Facebook me, or whatever you need to do. But this is cool. If you look at it, It's not great for Houstonians and people that are thinking about moving down here because prices are going higher and the average DOM, days on market, is extremely low. Look at that. So homes are sitting on the market on average 10 days versus 45. So it has the days on market. Homes are selling about 400 times, 300 times faster than what they used to. So they used to sit on the market nearly 35, 40 days. Now they're sitting on the market about 10 days. So what does that tell you as a buyer or even a seller? Number one, it's a seller's market right now. So if you're thinking about selling, this is a good time to sell. This is a great time to sell. If you're a buyer, that means you got to be aggressive. You're going to have to put multiple offers out there. You're going to have to make your offer look good. And the way you make your offer look good is by having less and less stipulations. So like, let's say for instance, you want an option period to do the inspection. Why don't we, instead of a 10 days, we do 5-day option period. Instead of a 30-day financing contingency, you do a 15-day options or just waive financing contingencies. What does that mean? That means, okay, my contract compared to others is more readily to close, and if I don't close, I'm willing to put my earnest money on the line. So if you do something like that, you gotta really know in advance that you're pre-approved, you have your ducks in the row, you're ready to move forward, you're not playing games, because you can literally lose money. But we can also be careful, make sure that your option period is in there and that covers you for the amount of days that you really need to start moving fast. Okay, so you got 5 days, and the option period means if you need to get outside that property, if you need to you want to lock that property down, but you have 5 days to get you like get out of contract free clause. So you use that 5 days and you move fast. You put everything to the side. Say, I need to do the inspections. I need to check the financing. Am I 100% approved? Give me my underwriter. Give me my stuff that I can make sure this house is good so I can continue forward. If not, I'm going to have to write an extension on the option period and give them more money. And the option period is, $100. Really like, $100, $200, maybe $300. But still, that's money's money and it can add up. So let's move forward. Historic count of listings over, let's take a look. Historic count of active listings. Ooh, this is nice. How sexy is that, huh? I don't think only real estate brokers and realtors probably think this is sexy. How much of these? Come on, HAR, I'm not paying you $1,500 a year and for you to crash on me. You see it crashing? That would happen when I go live, right? It would literally go when I'm live. I'm trying to make a report here. HAR. Okay, here we go. Okay, historic count of active listings, and we're looking back all the way to 2016, 16, 17, 18. Now, if you can see here, these are active listings. That means that properties that are on the market and they are active, not pending, pending can continue to show, not option pending, not sold, just active. They're on the market. So on average, we usually have about 8,000, usually about 10,000, it looks like here. So if you estimated that, let's say about 99, let's just say 9,000, okay? Right now we have 7,000 homes on the market that are active. Remember, we have our criteria, which is Houston and single family and townhomes. Single family has no connected walls, townhomes have one connected wall, okay? So right now, usually we have about, I want to say it looks really like 10,000. I really want to say 10,000, but I'm gonna have some folks out there. Alan, it looks like 8,500, and to me it looks like 10. So right now on average, it's supposed to be 10. We're at 7,000. We're at 30% deficiency. So we have low supply. We have a lot of demand. What does that mean? Prices are going to skyrocket. This isn't rocket science. This is just a lot of buyers, and we have a lot of buyers and a little bit of supply. Come on, man. It's not rocket science here. You're going to have a lot of buyers and a little bit of supply. The prices are going to go up, and that's just it. Okay? Got a couple of questions here. Oh, Brianna, I appreciate the thumbs up. I really do. Man, I love the joy. I love the support. I've been here for like 15 years doing my thing and selling real estate because these houses won't sell themselves. Got to get out here and sell these houses. All right. So we're going to be looking at now historic sales price trend. Let's generate that. The trend. That means like and when I'm trading stocks, we're looking at trend lines. Now, what can we forecast? If you're a seller, even a home buyer or an investor, this is very important because take a look at this. So if you would have bought a house in 2011 and you would have bought around median, we're talking median now, don't bite my head off, 125,000. That house today would be worth $275,000. You would have made yourself $175,000. You would have increased your profits. You would have increased your investment by 175%. Yeah. What kind of investment can you do that gives you 175% return? Now, let's just break it down. You made 175,000. Worst case scenario, you put 10%. Let's say you did 20% on $110,000, okay? 110%, you put 20 grand because you want 20%, you want to pay no mortgage insurance, you don't want to pay no PMI, personal mortgage insurance. So you put 20 grand in, maybe you rented it out, maybe you lived in it. Well, you're paying a payment of $800. I'm taking them on average. This rate of return. So let's say you bought for 110. When 10 years later, now you put $20,000 down. You've been paying it down, so now you only owe 70. You only owe about 70, 65,000. You're going to cash out for $275,000. That means you generate almost $200,000 in profit for just the median price range of a house. That's how good of an investment Houston real estate market is. And follow the trend. I mean, look at that trend. Just like when I'm trading stocks, follow that trend. It's going to continue to incline. It's going to continue to incline. And pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure that Houston is going to be almost unaffordable in the next 10 to 15 years. You know how people in Los Angeles, people in New York and in Miami, and they're always complaining about, oh, the prices are so high, we can't afford to live here. That's what's going to happen in Houston. That's exactly what's going to happen in Houston. So what does that mean? Investors, pick up those properties. Pick up as many properties as you can. That's what I do. Pick them up. But, try to spread it out. Get you a good banker, get you a good loan officer that works with you. Hey, I need to pick up 5 properties, 10 properties this year. Why? Because it's a long-term investment. It's a long-term investment. You're going to be generating income. What you need to be thinking about is cash flow. Getting that money coming in. Yes, Alan, I got to put some money up. Oh, Alan, you're going to have to figure this out. You're going to have to figure out how to get this, because you're going to rent these properties out. And yeah, Alan, the rent is only barely covering the note. Don't worry about that. We're not trying to get rich off the monthly income. What we're trying to do is just use natural mathematics here. They're paying the mortgage. What's due is going down every month. What's owed on that property, they're paying the house off for you. You bought it for 110, or let's say 200. Oh, they're paying 10 years. You only owe 130. You haven't paid anything. You sell for maybe it's worth now 390 at that time. 10 years later, they paid it off. You get your down payment plus you get the little bit of money you've been collecting every month. So it's like a no-brainer. Oh, then I can hear some people complaining already. They're going to be saying, oh, well, Alan, what if they miss a payment? Well, that's what yeah, of course you're going to have missed payments. You're going to have to pick up a payment every now and then. It's okay. You're going to still capitalize on that huge profit. You got to think long-term. You don't need to be thinking about, you don't want to be thinking about a goal of the next 2 years. You need to be thinking about 10 years. A lot of people want to get rich and they want to make millions. They want to make millions and they think, how do I make millions in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, or even a year? No, think 10 years from now. It's a lot easier to make 10 million in 10 years than what it is to make 1 million in 1 year. Always remember that. Always remember that. That's not mine. That's Tony Robbins, I believe, and I love that. Okay, I'm going to show you something. I don't want to hold you up. I know you guys are busy. But this is a cool report here, and I'm going to show you how the market is cheating you and how builders are cheating you. You ready for this one? List price per square feet, ratios, historic. I want one more here. List price ratios, original price versus sold price. Man, I'm looking for one more report. Original price versus sold price. Maybe it's this one. has to be this one. Okay. What's interesting, if you look at this data, so the prices are it went from about $150 a square foot to about 100. It looks like it peaked in January to almost 170. Now it looks like it's about $177 a square foot. Okay, so the prices have gone up. The square footage has gone up. So I've noticed a lot of buyers say, Alan, I don't see the prices going up really. You know, I don't really see it in my neighborhood, right? But no, what's happening is the builders are building houses that are smaller. So 3,000 square foot house, you know, back then, you know, would have been, well, let's make it easy, I guess. Let's make it 1,000 square feet just to make it easy, okay? It was back then was right here in 2020 would have been, if it was 1,000 square feet, easy mathematics, it'd be 150,000. Now it's 177. It's 177,000. So a builder's like, oh, wait a minute. I'll make it $150,000, but what they don't realize is the house is now smaller by 20% to make up the difference. So they're still selling for now they're selling for 177. So how do they make it up? They make it up by reducing the amount of square footage that are available, because they know the median price range, and they're like, well, we can't really change people's income that's coming in. And why would that be? Why do you think that's necessary? It's because the banks delegate how much that person can be approved for. So they say, well, if the regular person, regular John Doe and Sarah Doe is making, $50, $60 or $60,000 each, well then they're, they can with all their deals, regular debt, they can afford a $300,000 house. So, how do we maximize profits? We still want to make that money. We still want to make profits. Are we going to give money away? The builders thinking, the investors? No. Riley and all these big companies. So what they do is they just make the house smaller, and that sucks. Because you're getting a smaller house. And I give it to them sometimes. We had one of these meetings with the new building association, and they're talking about new ways to open areas and make them feel larger, but they're still smaller. And why is that? What do you think that's necessary? Because building supplies. It just goes back to the almighty dollar. Tile, wood, the roof. Everything costs money. Every square footage costs money. So this report is available to you guys, no cost, no hassles. You got a realtor, don't worry about it. I'm trying to give you more value than any realtor or real estate broker has ever done in the history of Houston. I want you to say, oh wow, this guy Alan, he's working harder than I've ever seen a real estate broker or anybody in a realtor do anything. That's what I want. That's what I strive for. So that you can say, I want to do business with that young man. I want to do business with this gentleman. This guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. He can, number one, save me some money, or he can make me some money when he sells my house. So if you have any questions about real estate, or even stocks, I do both of them. I do the stocks in the morning, I do real estate the rest of the day. Give me a call, 832-305-SOLD. That's 832-305-SOLD. I'm here all the time. I'm a workaholic. I love what I do. I love stocks. I love real estate. I love people making money. I love selling and making houses. It's just fantastic. So I'll see you guys on the next one. If you like this video, you learned something new, hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. That's how I know I'm doing something right. I'm going the right direction. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. Now, how do I turn this thing off?